Alright guys, let's go ahead and break down this Friday's recap here and just take a look at what's going on with the price action and what opportunity was in the market. Yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe. That always helps get the videos out there, of course, and helps everyone out, fellow traders, so they kind of see the content as well and learn and grow themselves as needed. So if you do have questions, feel free to like or to put comments in put your questions in the comments, and we can help you out. So let's go ahead and look at some of this price action. I'm sitting on a 30-minute right now, and the reason why I want to start here is because this is the main candle that you always want to look at in the morning when you're getting going. For me, I like to, like you've seen on many of the videos, it's going to mark time frames, and then that way I can break down, segment the price action. So I'm looking at the 30-minute candle here on the first half hour, and I want this candle to close. So really, when I'm analyzing this, we're going to be on this 8 o'clock candle. So the 7 o'clock is Central Standard Time is when the market shifts for me. This half-hour candle is what I'm going to be looking at, and then I'm going to start taking action after that. And what I like to do is mark the high and the low on the candle. So you can, it's just about as basic as what I just did. And all these candles up here, or all these different drawing tools I'm using are up here on my favorites, but they're all over here. So you can just open these up, and there's a lot of different drawing tools that you can use. Most of the drawing tools are on the first option, and you can click the star to put them in your favorites. And so, just an FYI for that. So now that I've marked this candle, I'm going to start to watch these, how these other candles react to this. I'm not going to sit on the 30-minute. We always look at the 15 because we're looking for an opportunity for the day. One thing I did notice, though, you always want to pay attention is those moving averages. And you can see in the morning, we closed down below this 30-minute 200. And then right at the high for those next 30 minutes, back tested the 200 moving average. And you can see actually the rest of the time frame here, you can see they went through, but all the closes were below the 200, then it broke down. You saw the breakdown. So let's go into the 15-minute and really start to break this price action down. So you can see we're already in this continuation pattern, right, of coming down from yesterday's recap and yesterday's price action. Now this is you can see this is the pattern we're looking for. You start to break down. That was this conversation. So you can break this out, and really I'm just trying to match the tops of the candle bodies. And this isn't perfect, but you're just looking for touches. And the more contacts at least that you can make, at least 2 to 3 contacts is what you're looking for. And you can see kind of how we're starting to get into breaking above it right here. So this is the trend line until it gets broken. And you can also kind of look at the same way. We already have these main areas that we've talked about. These are all for the weekly here. And then I drew this one on here when I first started the video as well. And that's what I'd be looking at when you're analyzing price action. I was on the 30-minute and kind of looked at that main support area. Really, you can, depending on what time frame you're going to use, this isn't super accurate. That's why you don't see me talk about it. I want to use some moving averages that are a lot stronger with fixed range volume profile type support and resistance lines, moving averages, because those are a lot more accurate on whatever time frame you're looking at, because it's using different points in a certain time on the price action or a longer time on the price action, just like a 200 moving average 15 does. So that's why I use those a lot more. But as you can see, I put the line in the 30-minute and I just moved it up. It's more, all these candle bodies are closing right here on the 15. Trading on the 15, I would like to look at this a little bit more. So if I was looking for this, a continuation coming down, that's what I'd be looking for as a target for myself. This is all the stuff that I like to mark out. I'm marking it out now as we're on this live, or on this recap, I mean, but when I would be doing this in the morning as I'm getting things running for myself. And I went back and just marked these main areas too, because you can see this is all areas of support. We came down and kind of tested that area here, 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 and here. More than likely, I would expect it to kind of come down in this area, but this would be my second target that I'd be looking for if I wanted to run for a longer extension. So now my charts are kind of set up, and I'm ready to start taking action now. That 30-minute candle ended right around here on this one. So you can see here's the bottom and here's the top. There's the start of the 30 minutes, into the 30-minute candle, there's 2, because that's we're in the 15 minutes now. You can see we tested it, started to come back up. We saw the 200 on the 30-minute was the area of resistance then. You also can see the area of resistance here on the 21, constantly testing it. Now, if we're already in this pattern, this downward pattern, we know that this is going to be an area that it's either going to want to come up and test and see if it's going to break through like you see down here, or we're going to continue down and go for these lower target areas. So if we're looking at or keeping that in mind, you could say, hey, I'm going to look at getting in when it breaks this 30-minute, because we're already getting up here. But if I'm wrong, I want to make sure my stop is further enough out. But so you could look at something like this if you're just taking this 15-minute candle. If it breaks through this area, I want to make sure that if it tries to come back up, I don't want to get stopped out. Depending on how I'm going to be trading this. This is just a quick option here, and you can see that I'm coming down to this target area. Now, if I wanted to go to this target area, this would be something I want to watch as well. So I could look at that also. But if that's the 15-minute, that's not kind of what I'm thinking. We can be doing this as this happens. When this finally breaks, it's 9:30 in the morning. So when I first started to look at this is a 2-hour window that I'd be waiting for this to pan out. You can see that's why trading does have patience. You have to be patient in trading. So let's go ahead and get into the 5-minute though, because that's going to be kind of telling the story here of what we're looking for. So you can see the same thing, right? When we get above the 21, we want to get above the 200. You can see you're in between those zones. That's kind of, to me, it's a 50-50 area. There's a lot more pressure coming down because everything's been trading down. So more than likely, we're going to keep coming down. What we want to see here in the morning, are we going to find a stopping point, kind of like you saw down through here? Is this going to be right here? And then we're going to head back up for the day. And you don't want to get caught in that whipsaw. So this is why you wouldn't just jump into a long here as it breaks its 21. Now this is already on a continuation down, and as it breaks its 21 here and comes down through here, this is where you could look at taking the price action. You can see it come really hard down and hit that first level of what I was talking about, analyzing it out and setting up our charts. And then from there, we came back up, and if your rule is to get above the 21, get out, because this easily could be the reversal. Just like I keep showing this down here because this is starting to show the reversal. If the guy that got in right through here got in on the rundown, if they use the 21 as their accuracy, you can see they wouldn't have a reason to get in, but you can also see that this is reversing. So if you want, why you want to get out as well. So this guy would want to get out right here if he was in this trade. This is your signal to get out, just like this is your signal to get out. Say you could do this, right, and you would get out of this trade right here. You got in up here somewhere off the break of that 30-minute candle that we were using, because it set itself up using all the moving averages. The downtrend is continuation. Is everything reason why you're getting into this trade, and this is why you would get out. So smart way to trade, you can, for ease, is if we're in continuation, we know it's coming down here. I want to get out on this area. Never grab the area perfectly, because what you see here is that it doesn't get all the way down here, right? It doesn't quite get down here. It's always good to kind of look at, okay, what area am I sitting on? That's 115,400 basically is where that is at. Maybe I'll move myself up to 115,000 for 450 or 475. Typically, that's what I try to do, because a lot of times it doesn't come right down perfectly to it. A little bit's not going to make a difference. You can see it just happened right here. So if you use that strategy, come down and then move it up just a little bit, you would have obviously been stopped out. You would have made a 1-to-1 in this trade. If you want to be a little more aggressive and run off of this break of this 30-minute candle on this 5-minute, use these areas, that is something that you can trade as well. It's up to you. You do know that this is kind of the trend line. If it breaks this trend line, we are going to go back up. This does have room to bounce in here, though, before it breaks down. So I will say that. That's how you want to be analyzing your charts. That's why I'm pointing that out. It's up to you as a trader. You can see where I'm moving my stop, I'm getting a 1.8 to 1 ratio, or depending on how tight I run this, you're maybe getting a 2 to 1. So not a lot of difference, but it is there, right? So if you did take that trade, that would be, and then when you're watching this, you can see aggressiveness come back up. It's back testing now for the day. It's testing the breakout. Here's your breakout, here's your back test. This is typical trading, and this is how the moves typically work. So you can decide how you want to trade this. Again, this could be, okay, I'm going to sit in this, I didn't get out here, it's going to back test here, and it's going to run down. What a lot of people load back up, meaning that they'll add more to their trade. If they didn't get out, they'll add more here and keep going. Or they'll turn around and say, hey, I'm going to get out here X amount and add some back in here and keep going. Or you can say, hey, I'm going to get out completely, which is what I would say smart trading, because once it's in your account, nobody has it, it's yours. So I would have taken it out on this back test here. I would look at getting back in as it's breaking the 21, because what I don't want to see this do is basically kind of what you saw here, right? Breaks above, back test, comes back up. Well, that's exactly the back test we want to see. But this also could have been considered a breakout here, back test and off to the races, and then push back through this, test this, and then break out. And that's what we don't want to get caught in. So I'm waiting, I'd be patient. Here's your back test right here, breakout. And are we still getting continuation on this trend? As it starts to come back down and break through here, this is where I would have got in. more than likely you could run this down here. Now, if you use the strategy like I was just talking about, you might only be up to somewhere right in here. 1,500, 115,000 is a big round number, if you will. That a lot of people start taking profits right before it, so you could come up. Regardless, I wouldn't come up a lot, so I would never have gotten touched based on what I like to put together. This is what I would have been kind of looking for now. I wouldn't use this line like I did here, mainly because this has already showed that strength, and then this gave me that strength. So if anything, I could come down tight on this if I wanted. This just gives me a little bit more room if this starts to play in here and bounce around for a heads out. So this was the morning strong move. This is the continuation of that morning dump with the back test. Here we go. You're down to this area. If you were watching the market and you saw this starting to change direction through here, which you can see it starting to shift, you definitely want to get out. So you could push this back up if this is where you got out. So today, if you were looking at this and doing everything that I just showed to you, so I always say go back and reanalyze price action every day. Everybody can do this. This is why we do daily recaps to show by example. But this is definitely the exit right here on the 21. It's getting above on the 5 minute. There's your exit. So worst case, if that's just if you just always use it as an exit, as a target, there you go. It's there. You did it here as well. That would have been close to 1-to-1 or whatever I was talking about, and then you would have got it again close to 1-to-1. So $100 in, you would make $200 for the day. That's still a decent amount in profit. So, all right, guys, that's about it. We're going into the weekend. Be careful and wait to see kind of how things play and shake down. We definitely are in some key levels of support. I keep pointing this out, and you can see it keeps testing this main area as a magnet. This is the weekly point of control for all of the prior week. So last week has been playing with it. The last Monday through the Friday that we've been talking about has been playing in this area. So this is right around 115,800. So keep your eye on the prize here, guys. Meaning that this is a magnet. So we may just play in this area. Is it going to stay? Right now it turned into some resistance, so we're testing it. But if we get above it, it could be their support again, and we're not going to break down. We already did the strong run down, and if you're thinking it's a continuation down, you be careful because we already ran it, and we just broke the trend line right through here early Saturday morning, and now we're actually starting to shift the trend. So it's starting to trend back up. So we have to be careful at this point because we're watching major key levels. Going out into the 15-minute, we had strong movement down like we were saying. This could also be, the reason I'm saying be careful is because this could be this kind of flagging pattern here, meaning that we just built this up in this area and then we roll over and break back over. And at that point, we're using this 200 as the continuation downtrend that we saw here. So this could be a bounce, come back. This could only come back up and use this as resistance because this was the area that we were holding as support originally that we ran through. So this was a strong support area before. Now it's going to be a strong resistance area possibly. And then we also have this area way up here as strong resistance. So those are areas that we're going to look for as targets if this starts to show potential breakout and you say, hey, it's going to start running up. Those are areas that you're going to see have hard resistance against it. So be careful in those areas that it runs up through. But yeah, this could be flagging up and then we could see a lower low start to play out. So just FYI, that's just training and analyzing price action. Of course, that's why we like to trade like I showed you guys. And that way you can take a little bite of the price and the little movement and then get away from it. So that's about it. We'll see you guys in the next recap for the weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Like I said, be careful trading on the weekend because of volume. If opportunity presents itself and you're analyzing it and you see it, take advantage of it. So, alrighty, we will see you guys soon. Thank you guys.